Have you ever had the sense that your body is sending you a message, yet you can't quite understand what it's saying? A lingering pain, unusual tension, or an illness that appears suddenly without logical cause. Carl Jung viewed the body as a direct reflection of the psyche. Put simply, each symptom, discomfort, or unexplained ache is not a coincidence. It's a meaningful message from your unconscious, a sign that something within you seeks recognition. Have you ever felt that a pain or discomfort in your body was more than just physical? Comment 1 if you've had a symptom that felt connected to your emotions. Comment 2 if you've never thought about pain in that way before. The issue is that most people fail to listen. They disregard the signs, numb them with medication, label them as ordinary, or worse, adapt to them as though such suffering is simply a part of life. What they miss is a vital truth: illness rarely happens by chance. The body becomes unwell when something inside is out of alignment, demanding attention, healing, and release. Today, we'll reveal the hidden language, the secret code your body uses to speak to you. We will examine how unprocessed emotions, suppressed traumas, and stagnant energy often appear as physical ailments. More importantly, I'll guide you on how to start releasing pain at its source. By the end, this understanding could entirely transform the way you view your health, your body, and your inner life. Let's start with the concept of the body as a reflection of the soul. Each part of the body carries symbolic meaning, and nothing occurs by chance. Physical discomfort and pain often appear during times of emotional or mental strain. Consider the last headache you experienced. Were you feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or mentally drained? Headaches often reveal mental overwork and anxiety, signaling that your mind is pushing beyond what your body can sustain. The link between mind and body runs deep. Suppressed emotions, when not allowed to be acknowledged and understood, do not disappear. They find alternate ways to surface. Jung's words, "What is not made conscious will manifest as fate apply." Here, what is left unresolved emotionally often manifests physically. Yet instead of attending to these inner calls, many simply take a pill and continue covering the symptom while neglecting its cause, repeating the cycle until the pain becomes persistent. The real problem lies not solely in the pain, but in the pattern of quieting the body's messages rather than addressing them. True healing is not about erasing all discomfort, but about uncovering the story each symptom carries. A headache that refuses to leave might not be calling for medication. It could be your mind's plea for rest, stillness, and inner calm. The remedy isn't always found outside ourselves. Often, it means making space for inner silence, challenging the demands we impose on ourselves, and letting go of the unseen burdens we bear. It's an invitation to stop, take deep breaths, and truly reconnect with the messages your body has been sending all along. Deep down, your intuition already understands what remains is whether you choose to listen. Let's discuss the burden of unspoken emotions. Your neck and shoulders do much more than bear the physical load of daily life. They also hold your emotional weight. Carl Jung taught that whatever we repress does not vanish. It merely transforms into another form of expression, which often manifests physically in the body. How often have you felt your neck tighten when you are trapped in life, powerless to alter something meaningful, or holding on to outdated beliefs that no longer benefit you? Neck pain may be your inner self's way of signaling the need for greater flexibility, not only in your muscles, but in your thinking and life approach. It's a call to relinquish control over the unchangeable and flow with life instead of resisting it. Shoulders speak an even clearer message. Perhaps you've taken on the role of being the strong one for everyone, the one who carries all burdens and keeps things together. But who carries you? Many of us are raised to believe that seeking help is a sign of weakness, that real strength means facing everything alone. Yet true strength lies in knowing when to let go, when to set down the weight. Here's a simple exercise. When you feel overwhelmed, close your eyes and imagine setting down your heavy load, if only for a moment. Take a deep breath and notice how your body feels without that weight. That single breath can remind you that life is not only about enduring, it is also about resting and allowing yourself to receive support. Do you find it easy or difficult to ask for help when you need it? Comment 1 if you often lean on others for support. Comment 2 if you tend to keep carrying the weight alone. Now, let's turn to your arms and hands, your link to giving and receiving. These are the instruments you use to engage with the world, to create, to embrace, to work, and to express yourself. If you experience pain or stiffness in your arms or hands, ask yourself whether there's balance in how you give and receive. Are you someone who gives freely but struggles to receive? Many people are. They readily give love, care, and assistance without a second thought. But when it's their turn to receive, they hesitate, feeling guilt or discomfort. Arm pain may be your body's way of warning that you've been giving excessively without letting anything return to you. Hands represent your ability to both hold on and release. Is there something in your life you're clinging to too tightly? A relationship, a self-image, or an expectation? Often we grip because we fear the unknown. But life is always flowing forward, and resisting that flow only builds emotional and physical tension. Try this gentle practice slowly. Open your hands, then close them, repeating the motion with awareness. As you open, picture yourself letting go of all that no longer serves you. As you close, envision receiving something new that will nurture your growth. True transformation begins when you trust that what is meant for you will come in its own time. Let's now focus on the chest, a sacred space that is far more than just a physical area. It is the sanctuary of your deepest emotions. Each breath carries a memory, and every heartbeat resonates with stories you might not consciously recall. Pain, tightness, or heaviness in the chest is rarely only physical. It often points to an unprocessed grief, a lingering heartbreak, or a loss you have yet to fully accept. Many people move through life carrying an unseen weight upon their chest. They smile, they go about their routines, but inside there is an ache, longing to be noticed, felt, and freed. Your chest might be guarding a silent cry, an unspoken longing, or a memory you never voiced. The more you push it down, the more it reveals itself through your breathing, your energy, and your capacity to connect with others. Jung believed true healing is achieved through integration, not by rejecting or avoiding what hurts. When you permit yourself to fully feel that ache in your heart, without judgment or resistance, you begin to unlock genuine healing. Take a moment right now. Place your hand over your chest and inhale deeply. Ask yourself, what am I still holding on to here? What must be released? Which memory still longs for closure? This is not about repairing something broken. You are not broken. It is about remembering that your body is your most faithful ally. It never lies. It speaks when words are insufficient. Every symptom is an invitation to come back to yourself, care for what has been neglected, and begin anew from within. Carl Jung frequently emphasized the necessity of integrating rather than suppressing our emotions. In his view, anything we refuse to confront does not vanish. It becomes a shadow that silently trails us, influencing our actions from the unconscious mind. Consider this. How often have you felt a tight knot in your chest when a painful memory resurfaced? How many emotions have you muted out of fear of experiencing them? That heaviness in your chest might not be purely physical. It may signal the pain of feeling unheard of words left unspoken that urgently needed release. Perhaps you have carried the burden of striving to meet someone else's expectations. Or maybe you have remained in relationships that no longer feed your soul, driven by fear of disappointing others. But here's the truth. The heart was never meant to bear needless burdens. It was created to beat freely, guiding us with clarity and intuition. If a constant heaviness lingers in your chest, take a moment for deep self-reflection. Write down everything you've never dared to express, even if it remains unread by anyone else. Cry. If you must, let the tears come. Crying is not weakness. It is one of the most powerful ways to release emotional pain. And when your heart finally lets go of what has been hurting it, your body naturally responds with a sense of peace. The back, the structural foundation of our body, often mirrors the weight of our emotional burdens. It is no accident that during periods of overwhelm, discomfort frequently manifests in this area. The upper back is especially prone to tension when we shoulder responsibilities that do not truly belong to us, acting as a constant source of support for others at the expense of our own health. As Jung observed, the most significant weight we bear is the version of ourselves we believe we must be. Put simply, we drain our energy, striving to live up to unattainable ideals, pushing ourselves relentlessly to avoid failure and disappointment. Yet the body reveals the truth. If tightness or soreness arises in your back, reflect on the question, what am I holding on to that is no longer mine to bear? The lower back communicates a slightly different emotional narrative. This area often harbors our most profound anxieties, particularly those tied to financial stability, personal security, and uncertainty about the future. It reflects fears of losing control, of inadequacy, and of life's unpredictable nature. When tightness develops here, it may serve as a subtle warning that you are holding on to concerns that steadily deplete your vitality. A useful technique is to imagine this emotional weight as a backpack strapped across your back. Then picture yourself gently setting it down. Envision standing upright without it. Inhale deeply and softly affirm, I do not have to carry everything. I trust that life will sustain me. True relief often stems not from physical remedies like stretching or massage, but from a deliberate choice to release what no longer benefits you. Turning to the legs and feet, they symbolize our capacity either to progress or to remain immobilized. Our legs carry us through life and drive us toward our objectives. When they feel unusually heavy, fatigued, or sore, the signal may be straightforward. There is something impeding your movement forward. Jung's observation, what we resist persists, is not solely a psychological truth. It is also evident in the way we physically navigate the world. You may be deferring a crucial choice, holding on to a relationship, job, or habit that no longer enriches your life, or allowing fear of the unknown to paralyze you in stagnation. Still, the body communicates with honesty. If your legs carry unusual weight, consider asking yourself, what is truly preventing me from advancing? The feet act as our anchor, securing us to the earth and offering balance. Persistent discomfort in this area may indicate uncertainty about your current direction in life. You might feel out of place, as though you are traveling along a path that does not truly belong to you, sensing the need for a change, but hesitating to take that initial step. Across many spiritual traditions, the feet are revered as sacred, representing our link to the present moment. Pain in the feet may be your body's way of summoning you back to the here and now, encouraging you to relinquish excessive concern about the future and to place greater trust in life's unfolding process. One simple yet deeply effective practice is to walk barefoot for several minutes, focusing on each step you take. Notice the sensations of the ground's surface beneath your feet. Visualize roots extending from your soles deep into the earth. This grounding technique not only aids in re-establishing emotional equilibrium, but also strengthens your feelings of safety and inner steadiness. Reflect on the question, what must I release to move forward without restraint? For often, the barrier is not the absence of opportunity, but the fear of seizing it. Has fear ever held you back from making a change you knew you needed? Comment 1 if you've recently pushed past fear to take a step forward. Comment 2 if you're still gathering the courage to make that move. I will share a story. In a small hilltop village, there lived an elderly healer renowned for his rare ability to interpret the messages conveyed by the human body. One day, a young man visited him, wincing in pain. I've tried everything, the young man confessed, clutching his back, but nothing relieves the discomfort. The healer regarded him silently for a long moment before asking, who are you carrying on your back? The question struck the young man with sudden clarity. In the quiet that followed, he realized he had been accepting burdens that were never his living, to satisfy others while suppressing his own dreams and neglecting his true needs. The healer then offered him a sheet of paper, speaking gently. Write down every burden you've been carrying, your guilt, your weight, and everything you've struggled to release. The young man complied, recording each source of heaviness that weighed upon his mind and body. When he finished, the healer nodded and instructed, "Now burn it. Watch as it vanishes into the air." The young man did as told. As the paper crumbled into ash, a remarkable sense of lightness spread through him, not only in his back, but deep within his spirit. This is the power of letting go the profound wisdom our bodies reveal when we choose to listen. The young man followed the healer's advice without question. Over time, something extraordinary occurred. His back pain faded away. This was not due to any mystical property of the fire, but because step by step he had learned to let go of what had been quietly eroding him from within. Understand that pain is rarely purely physical. Beneath every discomfort, every persistent tension, lies a deeper cause, a message, or an inner whisper that we frequently choose to disregard. Each pain you experience has a deeper root than you might imagine. Your body is not a mere machine that deteriorates by chance. It is a wise living system in continuous dialogue with you. Often, discomfort is not requesting medication. It is pleading for your attentive ear. True healing is not always delivered by medicine. At times, it arises from the courage to release what burdens us, what saps our emotional strength, and what we persist in clinging to despite the pain it causes. Consider this. What burdens can you lay down today? Which aspects of your life feel oppressive, exhausting, or stuck in place? Addressing only the symptom is insufficient. Without confronting the underlying emotion that fuels the pain, it will reappear repeatedly like an unshakable shadow. Your body will intensify its signals until you are compelled to listen. As Carl Jung famously stated, until you bring the unconscious into conscious awareness, it will govern your life, and you will mistake it for fate. His meaning was clear. Suppressed emotions, avoided truths, and buried memories do not vanish. Instead, they transform into patterns, into pain, and eventually into the very reality you inhabit until you make the deliberate choice to confront them. You may pursue every treatment available, masking the pain with medication or diversion. Yet if you never pause to ask, "What am I truly feeling?" the real cause of your suffering remains unaddressed. The initial and most vital step toward healing is not physical, but emotional. It requires asking, "What feeling is imprisoned in this part of my body? What emotion have I been too afraid to acknowledge? What truth have I concealed so deeply that my body was forced to cry out for my attention?" Take a moment right now. Pause. Draw in a deep breath. Close your eyes and turn your focus inward. With complete honesty, ask yourself, what feeling have I been avoiding? What truth have I refused to confront? Perhaps it is grief, perhaps anger, perhaps fear, or even all of them intertwined in quiet suppression. True healing begins in this still acknowledgement, approached not with judgment, but with compassion and understanding. Today, I encourage you to take a single small step toward your personal healing. In the comments, write the phrase, "I release myself." Avoid typing it mechanically. Let yourself truly feel its meaning. Speak it with intention and allow it to bear significance. Though seemingly simple, this act is far more than words. It is a declaration to yourself that you are ready to set down what has been quietly breaking you. It is a pledge, a silent vow to yourself, your future, and your freedom. The next time you sense tension building in your shoulders, a persistent ache in your chest, or unrelenting pressure in your back, resist the urge to dismiss it. Stop for a moment and listen. Remember, each pain carries a message, each discomfort conceals a truth, and every signal from your body is an invitation to awaken, transform, and heal. Do not allow yourself to remain imprisoned in suffering. Avoid numbing these signs or turning away from them. Your body is your ally, seeking your attention, not your opposition. So I now ask you, what part of your body has been speaking to you recently? What emotion do you sense is concealed within that discomfort? Share it in the comments. You never know whose life your story may touch. If you have reached this point in the video, write the phrase, "conscious healing," so I can greet you personally in the next one. Should this message have resonated with you, offering clarity, peace, or a moment of reflection, consider subscribing and enabling notifications. There is more to discover. And remember, healing is not an endpoint. It is a journey, and you are already walking it. Until next time, which part of this message spoke to you the most? Today, comment 1, if it was about listening to your body's messages. Comment 2, if it was about releasing emotional burdens to heal.